I'd love to tell you that I've made a lot of great mead, but I've made a lot of crappy mead.
I think anybody.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, it is. If you haven't had some shitty meads, then I honestly think that somebody who thinks that all their meads have always been awesome is probably not a very good mead maker. Honestly,
Yeah, there's a lot of hard lessons learned, and and some of those lessons learned was when I didn't have a lot of money to spend on honey, and
when you were making it in closets at the barracks, right?
Yeah, so I've dumped a lot of meads, and I'm fortunate to have had the time and the money and the patience to to further my hobby and to just learn, and this obsession of mine has been very, very, very rewarding for me, and I now just want to just share it as much as I can with anybody who's willing to listen.
Gonna have to get you to start doing some articles on Got Mead so people can benefit from the things that you've learned. I mean, you're making good mead now, so you got stuff to share.
I appreciate it. I'm still humbled by that. This all the attention is kind of it's I'm not used to it. Especially from me. If it was software, it would be completely different. But I am very humbled. I am very honored. There's so many great mead makers out there, and I'm still in awe when I'm in the room with a John Talkington, a Ken, and some of these guys, Michael Fairbrother, Eric Lowe. I can go on, and we all took a picture together at the Mazer, and that's something that I will cherish forever. It's just these are people that I've looked up to for a long time, and to be with them and to have the respect of your peers, to me, that to me is more than the Mazer. That's more than anything that I could ever win. Is just to have the respect and the admiration of your peers, and I'm very humbled by that, to be able to talk with my peers about mead and bounce questions off each other, and that's fanboy stuff. That makes me very happy.
Well, you've probably already seen though that we're not as a community, we tend not to be terrible. I mean, there are arrogant people in it, but generally speaking, mead makers are pretty accepting, even-handed, and egalitarian bunch, and we're not afraid to call out those that are both good and bad and say, hey, we appreciate what you're doing, and hey, that's really good stuff. And,
or, hey, what'd you do?
Or, hey, what the hell were you thinking? Yeah.
but hey, what you do works for both good and bad,
We're pretty classless when it comes to that. There's not a hierarchy, really. Well, there's that, too, yeah. But, there's not a hierarchy of people look down and say, well, I'm at the top of the... look at Ken. A humbler person you will never meet. You ever want to have fun, go up to Ken and do a we're not worthy kind of thing and watch his eyes roll. It's hilarious. I've been doing it to him for years, and it never ceases to get a giggle out of me. Like, Ken, you're so amazing, and he's like, please stop. If anybody, he's been called the godfather of the meat industry for years, and I tease him constantly just to see his eyes roll because he's so, he's a really great guy. He's really down to earth, very open and approachable, and people come creeping up to him like he's Alice Cooper, you're not worthy, and he's like, dude, really?
Seriously?
Yeah, he really is. The first time I met him in person, they sat me at a judging table with him. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, I'm going to look like such an idiot. This guy knows so much, and so I'm like, please, God, don't pick on me. I'm trying to learn here, and he's like, dude, really? We're all there at some point. I was like, okay. I had no idea how to respond to that. So, yeah. You look at some of the people that are the heavy hitters in the mead world, and they're just nice folks. They're just regular people who happen to make really awesome mead, and they like to hang out with other people who love to make mead. Awesome or otherwise, I mean.
And they want to help. I think the best part is they want to help other people's mead become awesome too.
Yeah, pretty much the industry mantra, whether or not they say it, is a rising tide floats all boats. If we all make better mead, then we all make better mead.
Absolutely, I'm a firm believer of that. And I just want to do whatever I can to help people make better mead. That's pretty much my only agenda.
Well, I'll hijack you into doing articles if you let me, so just saying.
Well, I'm going to have to run that by Robin. She tells me if I get more involved with stuff, she's probably going to kill me.
Oh, well, we can't have her killing you. We like you, so, yeah. Then, I can't have you...
Maybe you need to have her keep updating a graph on how close she is to killing you, so you've got an idea.
Yeah, like the close to midnight clock for the destruction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're 10 minutes from midnight, Carvin. You better back it up.
I'll have to run that through the wife committee.
I am really looking forward to meeting your wife. She sounds like an amazing person.
Any woman who can tolerate me for as long as she's tolerating me is a very special woman.
Well, what I have seen of her online, which granted isn't that much, she seems like she's pretty cool. So
she's awesome. She brews beer and she drinks mead.
Oh, she makes beer. That's cool.
So you couldn't. Me myself as a country boy, I couldn't ask for anything better. But she knows how to shoot guns, so I have to behave myself.
Yeah, you do. That's it. When I brought my husband home to meet my parents, instead of my dad asking John, are you going to take care of my little girl and treat her right and don't make me come and kill you? He was like, do you hunt? And John's like, yep. And he's like, do you fish? And John's like, yep. And he says, son. And John says, dad. And that was basically what it came down to. And the funny thing is my husband was a city boy. He's from Flint. And I grew up in western Michigan in the back of beyond. I mean, like malls and freeways were things I only saw on television until I was a teenager. and I turned him into a redneck. I'm very proud to say that. I turned him into a redneck. His parents weren't real great on that, but yeah.
Mark's a city boy redneck. It's weird. He doesn't actually want to be out in the sticks, but, he's perfectly happy to do a lot of the things rednecks do.
John's even got the red neck. He's a ginger, so he's even got the red neck to prove it. Oops. I can't type. Trying to type in one-handed. This whole cast thing for 2 months is really kind of sucking.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to regret the whole let's do this before we go thing, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't want to be having your arm flopping around while you were doing your whole trip.
That was pretty much it. It can't flop now.
You needed to get it fixed.
Yeah, it can't do that now. It's in a brace for 2 months. Not just 1, but 2 months.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So, I'm just going
to... hopefully you get better soon.
Oh, yeah, no, it'll be fine. It's just that they want me to keep it... don't do much with it except the exercises and take the cast off for showers, and beyond that, keep it in the cast, woman. So, yeah. Oh, but my husband is tolerating me dragging him all over the country for this trip, which was surprised that he's letting me do it. I mean, basically, he's like, I'm not going to be tripsing about to meaderies with you all the time. You know that, right? We're not on vacation. We're actually living in the trailer and working and, doing what we normally would do if we were at home. We're just doing it while driving all over the country.
Well, I'm very excited for you guys. You guys get to do something that's a chance in a lifetime. So
yeah.
It's something very special.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, people say, I'll do this when I retire. And we're like, yeah, we don't know if we'll be alive then. I mean, I hope we will, but there's no guarantee.
No guarantees.
Yeah, right. And we have this trailer, and it's a nice trailer. And we thought, you know what? there's a lot of the country we've never seen. My job now lets me basically expense the driving part of it. I mean, the eating part, no, but we're just eating. We would be eating anyway if we were at home, so that's fine. I'm not spending any more money on food than I do any other time. But this is part of my job now, so I can expense out that part. And I get to visit all these meaderies and meet lots of really interesting people. And, see things and do things. I'm not actually doing a lot of sightseeing. My sightseeing is at meaderies. And the occasional brewery, just for a break.
Well, there's sights to see, so.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, But, it's a really exciting thing. Next year, we're planning on East Coast New England. And, possibly Australia. I'm getting a lot of pressure from Hamish, so... Hamish, if you're listening, yes, I hear you, and I'm working on it.
So it was a joy to meet Hamish at the Mazers Cup. He's a very fascinating and individual, and it was so nice to taste his honeys and hang out with him and see his passion for meat.
He really does, and I mean, you should have seen the look on his face when they called his name for the medal that he won. I mean, I was sitting next to him, and the look of shock on his face was stunning. It was pretty cool. So, I'm looking forward to getting over there, and he's already mapped out a tour of Aussie meaderies that we can get to in a reasonable period of time. It is a big country, and go see what we can see. So, yeah, I'm excited about doing it. I've just got to work out the logistics on the thing and make it happen.
That should be a very exciting trip for you guys.
Oh, yeah, Australia's been on my bucket list for years, so, I'm starting to knock a few things off the bucket list. Got to see a NASA space shot. That was on the bucket list. Did that. That was so cool. I squeed like a little girl the whole time. It was hilarious. They were all of them. They're like, can you please stop acting like a 3-year-old who just got a new toy at Christmas? And I'm like, but it's so cool, we're at NASA! Yeah, I'm such a geek.
Most of us are in our own ways.
I know. Yeah, but I was geeking out pretty bad when we were there. It was pretty bad. But it's been awful fun having you on the show, Carvin. And you know that we're going to bring you back. You realize that, right?
Well, I look forward to it. I'm always up to talk meat, and there's no shortage of topics that we can talk about.
Oh, definitely. I'm thinking I might bring you back and have maybe you and Bobby on at the same time or something for another show. I think that might be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't even think you're prepared for that.
Oh, yeah, I can handle it.
We'll just sit back and watch.
We'll just sit back and let y'all go, and we'll interject the occasional comment to push you along, but, I know Bobby could talk for 2 hours, and we wouldn't even need to be there. We'd just mute and let him go,
Yeah, we just, me and Bob went up to John's place, and we went up there and had an epic meat night, and John made us some baked steak, and we had a lot of meat that night. We had a great time, so it was nice hanging out with those two for a weekend. So we had a great time and talked a lot of meat and consumed a lot of meat. So me and Bob on the show, we could pretty much take up about 4 hours.
Well, we can totally do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that have a lot of questions and ideas and things. So, and if nothing else, people just love to see what you guys are up to. So, I think we can definitely put some stuff together. I've had it in the back of my head to do like a home mead maker sort of panel thing where we just kind of get you guys on and cut you loose and let you run,
We would love to do it. Me and Bob, we both have the same agenda. We just want to see home mead makers grow, and anybody who's on, I have to get more active on your forums.
Yeah, you do.
I'm on there, but I spend a lot of my time on meat makers, but I'll try to get a little bit more active in that community too as well. But your forums seem to be pretty well covered. But I pride myself on being approachable. You can always send me a message on Facebook, and I'll make sure that I get back with you.
You hear that, guys? He's out there and answering questions. And the Meadmaker group is run by John Talkington. It is a really good group. It's a lot of good people on there. Pay attention to the ones that know what they're talking about, and you will know them by how they post. There are a lot of noobs in that group that are posted, well,